Okay, this is so exciting. I'm so glad you're with us. Hi, I'm Callie. This is Mike. You're watching HSN, and this is such a, well, let's just call it a rare opportunity. There's how many of these? 35?
36. We have already sold one, yeah.
Okay.
Proof Perfect Eagle. Platinum.
$100 Platinum Eagle.
Perfect Proof Platinum.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, no, I'll just try to go with the ones.
Platinum.
Look at this, Platinum 2000, and this is the Proof Platinum. So it's Perfect Proof Platinum.
Nicely done. Again.
Man.
And again, and again.
Look at that. And it is absolutely stunning.
Wow, it's gorgeous.
Exclusive to us here at HSN. Oh. It's a $100 coin.
Yep.
So what you've got here is 1 ounce of pure platinum. 1 ounce of pure platinum. Now, if you want to know about this in terms of value, because it's the only platinum coin that the United States government makes, is the Platinum Eagle like this. And people really focus on the silver and gold. And once again, the government, and when I say make this to order, in other words, they make some of them, and they only make what people order, and so they guess that. These have become in the last several years so phenomenally rare, so incredibly difficult to get. Some of the most significant modern issue coins are some of the older platinum coins, and they only started making them in 2007, so it's not like they've been around forever. Some of these older platinum coins that they have done in absolute incredible small numbers. And so you see some of these prior year coins, you know, at 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, 9,000, you know, you kind of put all of those together. And then what you do is you end up, because everybody's focusing on other things, just like that SP Eagle that we showed, yeah. Then all of a sudden the government ends up making like 3,000 of these. Or 2,700. And all of a sudden, for those of you that are familiar with mintages, 2,700 is like nothing in coins. 2,700. I mean, the congratulations Eagle that we're about to say for $2,000 coming up here, and we will absolutely sell that out. I'm sure it'll be my final presentation on that particular coin. They made 5,766 of those, or 5,966 of those. 5,900. This coin is going to be rarer than that by a fair amount. And it's 1 ounce of pure platinum, and it's certified perfect. There's 36 individually numbered pieces for worldwide distribution, exclusive to us. There's the West Point or W Mint mark that you're going to see right there. Look at that coin.
It's gorgeous.
Absolutely, positively stunning. 2017, once again, PR means it's a proof coin. They also do this in an uncirculated version, which actually ends up being rarer even than the proof coin often. We don't have that one released yet at this time, but once again, in terms of our individual limited numbers, the platinum, I mean, as platinum is significantly, I think they estimate, what is that platinum's 100 times
more valuable,
rarer than gold, rarer than gold.
Oh.
Rarer than gold. And if you look at this, we have 11 of these that just
literally sold 11.
Yeah, I think someone just bought a half a dozen, because all of a sudden
there's 24 left.
Yeah, there's 24 left. Yeah, 23, 12. And so that's what's happening is people understand that this coin, all of a sudden, the United States government, you know, is going to stop selling this. They make 1,500, they make 1,800, they make 2,300, or whatever that is in terms of that. And then all of a sudden, you have got one of the great rare coins that is out there in the marketplace.
Obviously, somebody's realizing right now.
There's probably a dealer out there that realizes that the government, and for all I know, the government between when I came on the air and right now stopped selling these.
Could be.
Yeah, it could be. That just happens all the time. You know, so there's someone out there trying to buy 8 or 10 or 12 of these, and that's what that is, and because they know it's exclusive, so they know it's the lowest price. So if you're looking for a Platinum Eagle, great opportunity for you to be able to get this right here. $100 face value. The highest face value the United States government puts on a coin is $100.
So we're going to move on.